is up, everybody? I am Matthew Holt, and we are here in the National Rock Racing Association on Rock Racing TV. This is the 8th race of our season. I am super stoked. It's going to be a lot of fun. This is Rush Springs Ranch. It's going to be brought to you by Raceline. Raceline is a sponsor of them. I know Raceline's been with the Rock Racing Series. Used to be Southern Rock Racing Series. Now it's National Rock Racing Association. They've been partnered with them for a very long time, as well as a bunch of racers, including myself. They do a lot of stuff with side-by-sides and big rock bouncers. They have all kinds of cool stuff coming out. So definitely give Raceline a chance to earn your business. They do a great job with it. Rush Springs, they have 75 miles of trails, 48 campsites with hookups, 14 rustic cabins, 8 boat houses. And I'm saying that correct, boat houses. If you've never been to there and checked out one of their boat houses, please do. It's very, very cool. And then they have a huge just general camping area down where the race course is usually at. Definitely go and check them out. It's a lot of fun. Russ and his wife do a great job. It's really, really neat to see. We're going to get into it. We have 17 bouncers, 4 VIN class, 13 UTV Cup, 9 UTV Bounty, 6 UTV Stock, and 9 UTV Stock. That's not right. We have 9 UTV Youth. That's youth class. Sorry. I must have typed that twice. 13 UTV Cup, 9 UTV Bounty, 6 UTV Stock, and 9 UTV Youth. For some reason, my list also has our staff on there, so I might give them a shout out at the end. What's up, Taylor? Yeah, I just got my hair cut. They cut it real short. I told them, I said, go ahead and trim it up. Take it real short. They did. They took it very, very short. So it's slowly growing back out. So they always say, if you don't like a haircut, wait 3 weeks. My hair grows pretty fast, so it's pretty cool. Outfit of the day, the OOTD. Shirt is Unvaxxed by Wild Wyatt Wilson. I was going to wait till the end to get into it, but I'll go ahead and jump in there now. He did a great job. Always. He retired-ish, at least retired for now at our last race, which was a very emotional conversation, but with me and Bree in the booth, I started getting a little teared up as well, just because, when you have a guy who's been committed to the series and you've been committed to points, and he's been in this off-road racing game for quite a while. He's done side-by-sides, he's done big rock bouncers. To see, to have a guy like that commit and say, hey, he's not going to be doing this full time anymore. He's going to take a step back and focus on other things. It's always a hard time. We've seen guys like Bobby Tanner and others step back and retire, and it's always been a little bit. That's a hard pill to swallow, And again, a huge shout out to those guys for the years of service they committed to us, and it's been pretty awesome, to see those guys really take a main stage, and then unfortunately they have to move on to bigger and better things. So he said he might come out and do some racing with us still in the future, but as far as now, he's going to take kind of a back seat to it and focus on business and some other things. So huge shout out to Wyatt Wilson, and just massive props to him and all that he did with our race series, and we're so very thankful for them. I got to hang out with him at I think it was the Indian Mountain Race for a Cure a few years ago. Me and him and Dan Carter and I think Bree. There's 4 or 5 of us. There was 4 of us in Wyatt's rig, and then I think Dan was in the back. There was, I think, 3 or 4 of us in his rig, and then Bree was. Then we got to ride around and play music, and we got to just have a great time for about 8 hours that day, and absolutely just had a stinking blast, and just a very, very kind individual. So huge shout out to Wyatt, and I bless him in all the things he does. Without further ado, we're going to jump into the bouncer class. We'll go from the bottom up this time. We'll go from bottom up. Wade Good, number 12 for Wade. Again, Wade's had some other people race with him. He's another guy that had some health issues and, is going to have to take a step back, and which totally stinks, and we hate to see that, but, that kind of is what it is. That's life, and, he still comes to races, and obviously Wade is a very ornery guy, so we appreciate him being there and having a lot of fun, and we appreciate that. So I know he's had some other guys race for points, and we'll see how that shakes out for the end of the season. Richard Hodges, 14. Randall Key, number 7. Mark Carpenter, number 2. Matt Holt, me, number 15. Justin Wills, number 1. Justin Wills. Justin Wills, I got to hang out with him a little bit at Crandon, and that was super cool. If you guys have never been there, it was an Ultra 4 race, plus there was Champ, which is a championship off-road racing series. Last weekend, there was a short course race, essentially what it is, plus they also throw in some rocks for the Ultra 4 guys. A lot of fun. Basically, it's a land rush start. Everybody takes off, rushes into corner one. And it's always, when you have a bunch of guys, powering to try to get to that first turn, it's always interesting, and it was pretty awesome. I know there's a couple interesting crashes you guys can go back and watch. Anthony Yaunt had a very wild ride, thankfully. I'm very thankful he is okay. Again, he had a very, very wild ride, so go check that video out. But it was a lot of fun. It was a good time. Rock Racing TV had some stuff going on with production up there as well, with Speed Sort and some others. So it was a really neat time. Get to see them. They had a parade that went downtown, which was super awesome. That was very, very cool to watch. So definitely a good time. And then that was last weekend. And then this weekend, yesterday, I was over at Badlands Off-Road Park for the Trek Series. Some of the Team Indiana guys were over there for some of the Ultra 4 stuff. It was neat to watch those guys. I know LS Fest was also going on this weekend in Bowling Green, Kentucky. The Midwest Rock Bouncer Shootout was up in Wisconsin, where it's basically just a county fair, state fair. I think it's a county fair, and they have just a rock bouncing event at the county fair that they do. Very, very cool. Nick Reich helps put it on, and it's always a crowd favorite. So, there's a lot of activities going on last couple weeks. We've had a couple weeks off, so that's a good time. 17 for Jay Storts. 17 for Jay Storts. Jack Porter, number 5. Ethan Martin, number 3. Ethan, another guy, came out and made a statement. Had a good time. Ethan Jones, number 11. DC Thompson, number 6. Again, DC had a pretty good wreck over there. Not a wreck, but got hurt racing. So prayers with DC. Hope he's healing up good. Daniel Heckley, number 10. Daniel Bowman, number 4. Daniel Bowman, again, a guy that's, I think, going to get, as he gets more comfortable with the rig he's racing, whatever rig that is. He has a small stable of them now, so I seen they were doing some stuff on the reclaimed buggy, so I know that they have some stuff in the works still. So I'm interested to see the Gold Rush reclaimed get out there, and very interesting, and hopefully it will come out and hammer down. So we'll see. Cooper Bentley, number 13 for Cooper. Again, he's been hammering it down this series. Colby Reich, number 8. Chris Grigg, number 16. And Brandon Davis, number 9. Again, that was our bouncer class. We have 4 for the VIN class. I do see another name on here. Speaking of our VIN class, I love our VIN class. We always have a lot of fun with it. It's a really good time. I hope to see some more. I like to see that class grow and really evolve, and I'm so excited for the future of that class. And again, hopefully we can get some more guys with that, and I think it's going to grow with time. So if you have some guys that you want to join the VIN class, if you have a Cherokee or a Jeep, Toyota, again, we're super excited to see that class grow and evolve. I do see a name on there, Bill Curtis. So Don Curtis and Bill Curtis. I was talking to them recently about maybe doing some different vehicles, and we can let them chat about that, and we'll see how that evolves. Bill Curtis, number 4. Charles Chris, number 1, Mr. High Octane Films. Don Curtis, number 3, he's our inaugural champ, and then Justin Holback, number 2, in the old WT, in the old work truck. Again, I think it'll be interesting. What's up, Dan? Dan Bowman jumping in there. Daniel Bowman, I drew number 4 for you. Colby Reich, 8 up. Got 8th. Got that 8th spot again. Yeah. Again, I draw numbers. I know in the past they've had another camera facing down on the numbers. If you guys really want me to do that, we could rig up another camera. Let's see, 17, 16, 15. Where's my 14? I could rig up another camera if you guys really wanted me to. If you would like to think that might be more honest, but I promise you, I just flip them all over to where the number side is face down, so all I see is a bunch of blank chips. I halfway mix them up. I say halfway mix them up because usually I'm grabbing them throughout the pile. So Taylor says no, he can't. Yeah, we can rig up another camera if we had to. UTV Cup. Again, UTV Cup's a lot of fun. It's a very competitive series. Those guys have been hammering down. I feel like with our UTV Cup, our old guys, it's kind of becoming old guys and young guys. They're battling each other. And I'm not going to say anything, but the young guys, I feel like, are definitely getting it here lately. So, huge shout out to all of our UTV racers. Starting with Adam Kuntz, number 1 for Adam Kuntz. Austin Tidwell, number 2. Brandon Davis, number 12. Casey Howe, number 4. Clay Kaysen, number 8. Cody Kaysen, number 10. Cooper Bentley, number 6. Dan Carter, number 13. Again, a guy who's had a crazy, crazy year. DC Thompson, number 3. Madison King, number 7. Mark Carpenter, number 11. Nathan King, number 9. And Tyler Bradley, number 5. Again, most of those guys are seasoned drivers for us, who get out there and have no problem battling it out. Let's see. We have 9 in our UTV bounty. So I have a lot of respect. Again, I know they say this all the time, but guys that do our UTV bounty, I have a lot of respect for, just because 8, 9. UTV bounty I have a lot of respect for because those guys do the same exact course that the rock bouncers do, and bigger ledges, bigger ruts. Again, same jump last time for side by sides. Again, the thing I did like about that is the power to weight ratio with the side by side is pretty close to a big bouncer. So if you have just a big jump, I think both will do okay. But again, sometimes with the rock ledges and with the hills, it's pretty gnarly. So I don't know how that'll work. Sometimes it's going to work out until you're in the race and me and Bree are in the booth talking about it. And sometimes it works good, sometimes it doesn't. So huge shout out to all of our bounty racers. Appreciate all those guys. They are brave, brave souls. Especially the guys who are racing, UTV stock or UTV Cup and bounty. So those guys are doing double, sometimes even triple duty. Starting with Austin Tidwell, number 2. Clint Strange, number 4. Dan Carter, number 3. DC Thompson, number 1. Josh Krapinski, number 7. Nathan King, number 5. Madison King, number 6. I wrote that down wrong. There we go. 5 and 6. Nathaniel Bell, number 9. And Tyler Bradley, number 8. Again, that was our UTV bounty. With our stock, we have 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. With the UTV stock class. Again, we have a lot of guys who are doing the bouncers that are also racing the UTV stock class, which is always fun. Watching those guys kind of battle it out in the stock class. Brandon Davis. I feel like we need to start a GoFundMe for Brandon Davis's new rig because that poor Can-Am has taken such a beating that it's just like we need to retire it. It's just that poor little UTV. It gets. I'm sure he rides it around home. He probably does trail riding with it too. Like that poor thing has just taken so much abuse from him. UTV stock, starting with Adam Kuntz, number 4. Brandon Davis, number 2. Braden Upchurch, number 6. Dan Carter, number 3. Daniel Heckley, number 5. And Jay Stortz, number 1. And that was our UTV stock class. Okay, and then we have 9 with the youth. What's up, Bill Curtis? I just read your name off for the VIN class, number 4. I was talking how you may have a surprise for a new rig in the future for us. But I'll let you decide if that's going to be accurate information to tell everyone. All right, starting with the UTV youth class. All right, I know a lot of them pay attention as well, and a huge shout out to all the parents that make that happen. I say how cute it is, but I really just say how genuinely awesome it is to see the next generation of racers coming up. And again, how serious they take it really, really makes me happy. Start with Ava Garner, number 3. Blake Heckley, number 4. Brentley Havens, number 8. Claire Holback, number 2. Collier Holback, number 1. Dallas Heckley, number 5. Gatlin Wills, number 9. Hunter Vargo, number 7. and Ridge Brown, number 6. And that is our UTV youth class. Again, we also have a staff. For some reason, Clyde included our staff on this list. So I'll go ahead and run through that. Just to give him a shout out, Bill Blaisdell. If you don't know who that is, he's the guy usually running around kind of like a chicken. He does everything from 1 minute he's running a camera, the next minute he's fighting a fire, the next minute he's like up in a tree sawing a limb off for us. Bree and myself, we are in the booth usually doing broadcasting stuff as well as doing kind of fun promos before and after races. I got my broadcasting job because I was at a race and Clyde needed someone to fill in, and it worked really fun for me. And it may not have been fun for the production crew at that time, but it was a really, really enjoyable time for me. And I'm very thankful that I have someone like Bree who does a great job and is very professional and constantly tries to make the show better in a lot of ways. Same for Taylor. Taylor is another guy that's behind the scenes. Not a lot of people get to get recognition like Taylor does. He's usually the guy behind the camera, in the trailer, back in the dark corner, breathing in dust and trying to make sure his equipment doesn't overheat. So huge shout out to Taylor. Appreciate him and all he does. Carol Bynum, that's Mama Bynum. She's usually in the back t-shirt trailer helping work merch. Gary Bynum, she's usually helping keep everybody lined up or getting us lunch or snacks or snacky snacks if she has run out. Crystal, which is Clyde's fiance, she's usually running a camera for us. Colton and Justin Holback, we really appreciate those guys. Justin obviously runs, the whole kids program for us. Used to help out with the RC program, still work the starting gate on race day, and appreciate that. Having those safety checks is super important to, obviously we get in a hurry sometimes. We may forget something, so he comes up and checks and makes sure we're all buckled in and we're 100% ready to go. So we're very, very thankful for that. Zach Garner. Zach may be an acquired cup of tea, if you will, because he sometimes can be offensive to people. I stick up for Zach. Zach hates on me probably more than anybody at any race, period. But I also stick up for Zach because I see a lot of things that happen behind closed doors where he helps people out and does very gracious things for people and goes above and beyond with a lot of scenarios. And Zach, for those of you who don't know Zach, he is a one in a million, super, super nice guy. Does a lot for the race program, does a lot for the series. I don't think he's ever got any money from Clyde. I think he does his job entirely volunteer. And again, for those of you who don't know, he entertains, for 4 to 6 hours on a Friday and, 8 to 10 hours on a Saturday, entertains a crowd, and does that. Again, we used to play a lot of music before we started the live production. With the live production, if any of our social networks see a song, then unfortunately they'll kick us off. So he doesn't allow really do music anymore, so he has to kind of fill that time with commentary, and he does a really, really great job of that. Jack Hollingsworth, he does Delta Drone Works. He does all of our drone stuff for us. Michael Garsk, he does a great job filming for us. Brian Dunnigan, I know, has helped done some film works for us stuff. And Clyde, obviously. Clyde usually on the hill. Now that Taylor's in the trailer, Clyde can have the timer and be up on the hill and kind of watching what's going on and seeing if someone's knocking a flag over and watching the timer to make sure it's all working properly. And we appreciate all of our staff. We appreciate all of them. They do a great job. So I think that's all I got for you. If there's any other questions, comments, concerns on the live feed. Again, huge shout out to the Unvax shirt for Wild Watt Wilson, and we appreciate him and all he does for the series. We're very thankful for him and his race career, and we wish him very well in all his future endeavors. Again, he'll still be out at races, hanging out and goofing off, and I'm sure he has no problem helping out some of our younger racers. I'm sure he'll help out with still, and again, we might see him back at races, if goofing off, maybe not racing, but goofing off definitely. So I know I have at least one person I have to add to our driver group, for our driver Facebook group. Somebody messaged me earlier this week about adding them. I will get all of these numbers posted in the driver group so everybody has a paper number, and then Clyde will post any longer course pictures if we need them. Usually he'll post those on like Tuesday, Wednesday, depending on when he has those mapped out from, again, that's going back to Delta Drone Works. Those guys will kind of usually give an oversight and kind of give a map of what the course is going to be. With Rush Springs, they do have a short course, so that will probably come into play as well. I was not a fan of the short course in the very beginning, and then the more I played with it, the more I really enjoyed it. Me, Larry Krogh, Jake Pike, Bubba Bacon, pretty much the whole Bacon crew, and Keith was down there one time, Keith Toolman, and we started racing around it, and it got dustier and dirtier, and the faster we went, the more fun it became. So I've learned to really, really appreciate the short course and have a lot of fun with it. So I think that will be very interesting. So, without further ado, I'll get out of here, and we'll see you guys all this weekend. We'll see you guys. Bye.